Now, if you're a regular listener to the show, you'll know we've been following the story of Sammie McFarland from Dorchester since the coronavirus pandemic began. Now, Sammie and her teenage daughter both caught the virus in 2020 and now have long COVID. And as a result of the experience, Sammie set up a charity called Long COVID Kids. And in April, they delivered a support guide to Downing Street on how to help children with the condition.
It'll be a hugely emotional day for many of the children because they are coming into London for the first time, now disabled, with their wheelchairs, with their walking frames, bringing their heartfelt pleas to the Prime Minister. They're all bringing individual letters that they've written, explaining their experience and asking him to really start thinking about how he's going to prevent future infections in children in schools by improving indoor air quality.
The charity and her story are going to be featured by the World Health Organization as well. Sammie, welcome to the programme.
Hi, thanks for having me.
For those people who don't know your story, because there's so many COVID stories, but yours has really stuck with me, and it was the massive impact on your teenage daughter. And just remind people of how bad it got for your daughter with regards to COVID and what you've been, I suppose, fighting against.
So when Kitty was initially ill, she had a very mild COVID infection, but she went on to develop long COVID, which meant that she was in bed for 8 months, unable to access any of her normal activities. She wasn't able to maintain her own personal care. She was incredibly ill. And now, 29 months later, we are still living with long-term symptoms that impact every single day of her life. She has to take a lot of medication. She has to follow protocols, and she's still not able to do normal activities. A lot of her day is spent resting.
I kind of apologise for having to ask you. I know you have to tell the story as part of the work and your commitment to see meaningful change, but I think until people hear what happened and the way you just explained that it started out as a very mild dose of COVID and then became this life-changing event, it makes a lot of people stop and think, we've got the new vaccine plan being rolled out and suddenly it becomes close to home again. Are we making progress as a nation with regards to investigating long COVID and the impact on children?
In short, no. We desperately need more investment in biomedical paediatric research, and we currently don't have any way of stopping children from getting long COVID because any infection can lead to long COVID. So there's a lot more work to be done and a lot more awareness needed.
When you say more work to be done, is part of the lobbying as a charity going to be that sort of laboratory work of doing clinical trials, tests and more focused studies, just looking at long COVID and looking at young people? Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, we definitely want more investment into the biomedical research. We need to look at the pathology behind long COVID. We need to understand what's causing these children to be so ill for so long, and to have such a variety of symptoms. They're episodic in nature. We don't really understand why, and we don't really understand the full cause and mechanisms. But we do know that it seems to be a vascular condition, which means that it can affect any symptom in the body, a system in the body. Sorry. Globally,
are there countries that are making better headway than the UK?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a lot of research being done. There's more biomedical research happening in America, but honestly, it's globally quite poor, and it's something that we are really campaigning to change.
Yeah, I bet. Sammie, whenever you come on, I find it incredibly humbling hearing your story. I thank you for always being so honest. I can't imagine what it's been like as a mum, and you're still right in this. But you're bringing some change as well. So hold your nerve and keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure we'll speak again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sammie McFarland, their founder and CEO of Long COVID Kids. They've got quite a powerful online presence as well. So that's affected young people in your network. Long COVID Kids online, a Facebook group. It's all there for you.